Welcome to my no bullshit guide to ranking on Google in 2020. There's a lot of videos out there with gurus that say they can do a lot of stuff, and the truth is there's only a few people on YouTube that do a really good job. And if you want to learn the fundamentals and you want to learn the textbook stuff, it's really great, but I'm going to give you a dose of the real stuff. We're an agency with over 1,000 reviews, and we've been successful in the sense that I have relocated myself as an entrepreneur to an island in the Mediterranean. I live in Majorca, Spain, and I dream about what next mission I'm going to do in my career. I get inspired by nature and beauty, and I help fulfill my clients' work and mission and destiny to succeed online. So I'm going to go through a couple of the pointers here, and this is the same success formula that I use to solve any kind of problem. There's all sorts of problems that you might have in your personal life or in your professional life that you want to apply yourself with, but you can start right now by executing on some of these tips, and I'm going to break them all down, and the navigation's down here in the description so you can really just flow through some of these content. But these are the conversations I have with myself, with my team, my friends, my peers, and so on. And I've really dived into it and I've polished it so much that it works for me every single time. And I think it'll work for you too if you're really persistent. This is about putting in the work. Let's just be honest. If you don't want to do the work, this video is not for you. This is for entrepreneurs only, or people that want to become an entrepreneur. It is going to be the hardest thing that you're ever going to do in your life. You're going to give away your freedom to yourself in order to do something else and make that compromise and have that success in the future. So how do you really put together the success formula, and what does SEO have to do, and how do you get those pieces working together? So what's the secret to SEO? It's really simple. It is going to be speed. If you want free traffic from Google, if you want to rank higher on YouTube, if you want to do better on Instagram or Facebook, those are all search engines. If you want to receive free traffic, you're going to have to do more, and you're going to have to figure it out. How do you do this? Well, first you need to look at the platform you want to choose. In this example, I'm going to use Google because Google is a text-based machine and it allows you to create text. Google finds it and you get free traffic. But as easy as that sounds, it really isn't that easy, and it's really slow, and it's like watching the paint dry. I prefer free traffic because it is my art, and that I have mastered it to receive a ton of free traffic from Google without doing anything shady, because ding, 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 you don't have to do anything shady to rank on Google. It just comes down to speed and the text and the content that you're creating. So how do you execute speed? Well, this is the hard one. You're going to have to find a way in order to start freelancing or working for an agency or building up your own website. All of these are valid. You don't have to be an entrepreneur that is self-employed. You can be an entrepreneur and work in a company and be an intrapreneur and help that company grow. You're just going to have to decide which of those tracks you're on. So if you're working for somebody else, you have that 40 hours a week, and then you have that other 40 hours a week that you can put into your side hustle. That is what I did. I started out with a side hustle on Fiverr, and I started doing gigs between lunch, between dinner, early in the morning before I went to the gym, and I would be working from 6 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. for a couple of years straight. Every single day, without a doubt. Of course, I can take a walk, I can go to the gym. It is this location independence that you're after here. The location independence is the freedom that allows us to have this sort of flexibility, and it allows us to move around the world. It allows me to live on an island. So when you're getting really focused on your side hustle, because you're going to have to support yourself. I did the whole entrepreneurial route, doing the 80 hours a week, getting the capital, raising the capital, and just burning out. The side hustle is going to be a bit more comfortable. You have that job, you have that paycheck, you have that side hustle. If you don't have that job and you only have that side hustle, then you got to work extra hard to make that profitable. You have to find out, what are you selling, what are you offering? If you want to do SEO, then you're selling content effectively. You're selling content for your business to rank better, or if you are growing and you're expanding and you want to turn into an agency, you find clients and you sell them clients in order to get them the results they want to achieve on Google. So it is about speed. If you are not working 6 to 10 every single day for at least 2 years, let's just say. I think 2 years is a good amount of time to figure out if your idea is gonna fly or if it's gonna flop, because nothing's gonna happen overnight. Let me be clear in that. There is no app, there is no new next Facebook, there's no new next Uber. You're not going to see the results that you're expecting if you're trying to look at building a unicorn. Unicorns are very expensive, they require a lot of cash. And back to SEO. SEO is very inexpensive and doesn't require a lot of cash at first if you possess the skills. Now, what do we do next? So you have the grit, you have the time, you have the determination to run and grow your business on Google. So how do you prioritize text, voice, video? I don't know. It's really hard. But here's a recent quote that I was featured in this blog, and I'll break it down for you right now. So what's the best digital marketing strategy in 2020? Well, I'll tell you. YouTube is moving into the fray now that a lot of top influencers are abandoning it or being demonetized. Content producers dominated with cringe content, and now upstart influencers are creating polished content. YouTube is turning less TikTok and more Google search. The answer you want is found on Google, and if it's not, it's an opportunity to optimize content to rank for certain keywords. Updating your title tags and headings is no longer enough. What's required is a total text, voice, and video strategy to win at SERPs. So it's no longer enough to just create content. You have to look at video, audio, and text. I like creating video because I can turn it into audio, and if the video does really well, I can turn it into text and work that way. But a lot of the time is the best results we see is you have content paired with a video, you embed the video on your website, you optimize your website, you make your articles long, 1,000 or 2,000 words is enough, and you look at how your video is performing, you optimize your video, and those two work in harmony. You start to grow organically, right? This happens over a long range, this happens over months and years. And this is why you need to start doing more content. So you're thinking about doing content, well, you know what? Your content strategy probably sucks. Let's be honest. Our content strategy sucked. We changed it 3 times in 12 months, and we finally figured it out. The point of SEO is there isn't a silver bullet. If you think there's a silver bullet and you're playing Russian roulette with your marketing dollars, you're going to blow it all on garbage content. So you really need to do your research. And also, are you focusing on a specific language? In my case, we write a lot of English content. Do I have an English degree? No. I'm not allowed to touch the keyboard. What we do have is Grammarly. And are you a Grammarly author? Yes, I'm a Grammarly author. I can write a lot of great stuff if I'm using Grammarly. But those two are disconnected. If I want to create something with a certain voice, a certain amount of research, and a character that identifies with my target audience, that takes a skilled writer. You cannot dismiss the skills that are required to be a writer. So if you're not a good writer, that's okay. I used to write a ton of Google Analytics blogs, and they got a lot of traffic. My YouTube videos really started out in Google Analytics, and it worked. But the thing is, I did not keep up with it. And that's okay too, because I was drilling the 6 to 10 on the results that I saw in SEO and marketing that I was doing for clients and growing my consultancy as an independent freelancer. That is my side hustle that got me to where I'm at now. That's the side hustle has grown a massive team that's international, and that's the side hustle that is my full-time hustle that makes me get up out of bed every single day and makes me want to create videos for y'all, because this is my no holds bar marketing and motivational content to get you up and running. But Mr. Zima, aren't backlinks important for SEO? Yeah. Sure, they're important. It helps Google understand what websites are linking to you, what kind of content that website has, and it helps identify and cross-pollinate, and it gives you some sort of clout and authority. Are they viable still? Yeah, you can work on getting backlinks, but let me just give you an understanding of what it's like doing a backlink. Hello, I have a guest post, and if you post it on your website and link back to me, I'll link back to you. It's cold calling for links. If you've ever done sales and you're doing backlink outreach, you know what has higher ROI? Doing sales. Because closing more business is going to take as much effort as it takes to close a backlink. So If you've got tons of time and you want to get backlinks for your website and it might do something, you might be able to measure it and it might help your SEO in the long run, go do it because it's free and it doesn't take anything to do it. But as long as you understand that you're compromising your time for an opportunity or a sale, doing free work for yourself to get free marketing for yourself doesn't get you a paycheck. You have to do sales, you have to do something profitable, and you have to be making business as a blog, an e-commerce store, or a local business. Those are your motivations. So you have to really make sure you prioritize who you're doing, because you don't want to be, I have a guest post. You want to be, hey, I've got something for sale. Those two personas are going to elevate your business a lot quickly. That's why avoiding spammy backlinks, no one's going to give you a backlink. Just let's be honest. You're not Nike, you're not Coca-Cola, you did not come up with new product that a bunch of people and your millions of followers on Twitter are going to love. That's not going to happen. You're just another website in the sea of the internet. And that's okay, so am I. I'm in the most competitive industry. It's SEO, and I'm stuck all the time trying to rank for these keywords because I got a bunch of me's that are competing with me, and that's infinitely hard. Now, doing it for my clients, much easier, and you don't have as much diversity of SEOs in some of your industries, so you can have a leg up if you learn how to become an SEO, if you learn how to become a marketer. Marketing doesn't stop at SEO. Marketing, advertising, branding, so on, it continues to grow. If you do want to consider doing a backlink strategy and you do have the budget, you can go the PR route. PR is great. You can start earning backlinks through PR, press releases, and actually start building relationships with these outlets and possibly even becoming a contributor. This is the trajectory. It's not an easy win to get a backlink, and you're gonna make money. It's about building your brand and actually building your brand where people are reading about it. If you're buying links against Google services, terms of services, if you're buying links, no one's probably watching those websites or reading any of that content. It's all fluff, and it's people that are just manipulating you to get your money when you're wasting it on marketing that is speculative. That's what SEO, it's speculative. SEO goes like this, there's no guarantee you'll go like this, there's no guarantee you'll go like this. You have to stay ahead of the curve. But Mr. Zima, what about influencers? Well, influencers is a very interesting category. In my quote, I talked about influencers being demonetized, and a lot of influencers are leaving because when you do a lot of research, influencers may have huge followings, but they have a lot of difficulty to monetize it. It's not that it's difficult to monetize, there are just no clear metrics or systems, and it's really, you're an independent business, you're an influencer, and you're trying to sell your audience to other people to advertise to them. That can turn off your audience, you can start losing your audience, or you're just not making enough money, because being an influencer a lot of the time is a side hustle. You're not going to be making, PewDiePie money overnight. And if you're a PewDiePie, then you're pretty much soaking up that entire audience, and it's really hard to compete there, and you're just going to be a little domino in the shadow of a PewDiePie, for example. The value of becoming an influencer is this. It's about $4 billion a year, they're estimating. If you look at Google ads, it's $160 billion a year. So being an influencer and doing Google ads, I would say you should start selling some Google ads, because there's a lot more in there for you to be a successful entrepreneur than an influencer. However, being an influencer is speculative. You can start becoming an influencer. I think it's important because you can become a micro influencer. It's not about getting that 1,000,000 followers. It's about that 1,000, 10,000 followers that are really engaged. Because sometimes in your industry, if you're talking about science and medicine, there aren't a lot of people. But if you have the CEOs from those industries watching your content, then it's a success. And influencer, I like it because it overlaps on free SEO marketing. Being an influencer, you're on a social media platform, more or less that is a search engine, and you're trying to get attention by creating content that people love and engage with. So consider being an influencer, but don't put all your eggs in that basket. You have to start producing content, and if you choose to use video as your medium, you can have a lot of success because you can connect with more people faster. So this is my most important growth hacking tip. When we were doing our startup in Chicago, doing a Groupon competitor, we learned something by working with a lot of vendors. I am paying you, and you are telling me. And that's the best kind of vendor relationship, is you're looking for experts to help you, and they help you, and they give you, and they reciprocate that relationship, and it's a win-win partnership. And that's the key here. If you are growing and you see an opportunity like, oh my God, I'm doing so good in social or SEO, or I'm doing so good in ads, there's a point that your expertise is just going to hit a wall, because there are other things you can do that are more valuable and more important in your business. So you should pursue those, but you should also look for partners. You should also look for people that you can hire to help you get a little further. One of the best decisions I've made in my career is start a partnership with my business partner, Damien Bouvier. It has been incredible. We pair each other very well. He's very articulate and managerial, and I'm very flamboyant and out there creative type. And those two come together, and those are the halves of the brain to create a marketing agency like ours. So you're going to have to see, are you missing talent? Are you missing skills? Are you missing the experience in this? And you can find different people, whether it's short term, whether you want to get an intern, figure it out. Working with people that want to see you succeed is the best first step in growing your business, your blog, your e-commerce store. If you want to be online, you have to be collaborating. So really think about the relationships you're making, and every relationship you make online could lead into a profitable business relationship. So stay motivated, stay hungry, and just avoid the BS out there, and just really do the marketing and do the work. Put your head down, get to work. Thanks for watching. Now, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every day I'm publishing videos on growth hacking, digital marketing, how to be a successful entrepreneur. I really want to enable you to become a decision maker in your own business in the future of work. So if you want to come along with me on this journey, hit subscribe, hit notifications, and I'll talk to you real soon.